Hi guys, and welcome to a special stalker reading I'm doing here. It's a PICK-A-STALKER. Long story short, if you're new here, I do stalker readings, which are readings where I look into specific energies that kept showing up for all the signs across, in an all signs reading, so an energy that kept showing up. Then I pick out that energy and I look into it and do a stalker reading. This time it's a little bit different because these are based on the monthly readings I have done for all the zodiac signs, and there were 3 cards that kind of kept popping up. So what I have done is that I can tell how these will connect. I absolutely do. There are especially 2 that really connect here, but no, they actually connect, but they connect in funny ways. Anyway, what I have done is I pulled them out and I'm doing PICK-A-STALKER. So you pick the one you feel the most pulled to, and you can take that message. Of course, you feel free to watch all of them to see if there's any message in there for you. But I thought this would be interesting to do, right? They are here. They are right here. These are the stalkers. They are based in the energy oracle, energy oracle, right? Which one do you feel the most pulled to? I will put a timestamp in the description box below for each of them, right? Although, as I said, I can see them connect, but I also know that they come with different specific messages because they are targeting specific groups. I can separate them. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. Again, as always, also with picker cards, these are general readings. Take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest. What these readings do is that they look into a monthly energy as it may play out in August. Right? Let's get to it. Pick one. Feel free. What we have here, number 1, comes with a, well, where did I get this one? I think I picked it up in the Philippines. Don't know the word in English. Coral, dead coral or something like that. Oh, it's rainy, really stormy outside. Anyway, what we have here then is the lava, my Icelandic lava. And this one, where did I get you from? I can't remember. Brazil or something. Anyway, this is a crystal. Look at how beautiful. All right, so that's number 1, number 2, number 3. Are you ready? Are you? Then we're gonna get started with pile número 1. What are we going with pile número 1? At 0, 2, 45. Pile number 1. Pile number 1. Are you ready to see what you got in pile number 1? It's the storm warning. It's the storm warning, and I was laughing a bit because I was just commenting on the storm outside. It is the storm warning. And let's get the cards out that I have gotten for the storm warning. As you can see, there are 2. That's because if any of you know how I read, I love reading under the deck, and that's sometimes difficult when you do pick a card. So I take one, that's what I get. Top of the deck, bottom of the deck. So let's see. We are starting with... That was bloody hell, not a lightning. Was that a lightning? Let's get to it here. But there are lightnings here. Why does it say like that? This is a storm. What we get here is building blocks in the reverse. What does that come with underneath the deck? That comes with not for you in the reverse. Yes, I have shuffled reversals here. Building blocks in the reverse. You know what? I'm gonna get the book, as always. Me and my books. Because storm warning, first and foremost, let me tell you what storm warning is about. That's about, standing your ground in some sort of a situation here. Storm warning has tended to show up as a future energy in August, right? Coming up in the future here. So it's about standing your ground, and what I get it being has something to do with you standing up for your originality, your authenticity, the potential that you have for you here. But let's quickly look into the building blocks. 28 is really... Hold on, I gotta... No. It's just because if I put it on pause, it's gonna make a mess. Alright, I'm not gonna put it on pause, otherwise the software's gonna crash, but I've gotta check the window. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. It's just, I saw the storm come there. It's like my kitchen window is open. So 28 in the reverse. 29. It is 28. It is building blocks, but it shows up in the reverse. So that's a protection message. Now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Okay, perhaps the values you have changed. Your values have changed, and now it's time to strengthen your convictions and to let go of things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps are you choosing to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement that you have entered into is not right for you? Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for righteous honesty. For you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for you, for your life, and that's beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what is not solid, and not for you. Not for you. Number 6 in the reverse. Well, it kind of says itself, doesn't it? Not for you. When it shows up in the reverse, that is trying to hold on to something that is possibly best left alone. Don't chase after what flees from you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There's nothing romantic about what is unavailable. There's no price given from torturing yourself, and there's nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags that have been waving in front of you since you began this pursuit of yours. Now is the time to walk away from that. There are other goals, other loves, other games, other successes awaiting for you. The way out of obsessing is radical acceptance and surrender. Spirit wants what is best for you. Comes with the storm warning here, right? As we can see, there's a key message here saying something about, stop pursuing if it's not for you, if it's too difficult to reach. Now, it's not the same as giving up, no, right? All right. What we have here then is the river. Now, that shows up in the upright. This is, again, swear to God, for some of you, I'm not joking. For some of you, this is, I've gotten this especially for Sagittarius, in the Sagittarius reading, where I got like literally a storm where the waters was rising and it flooded and everything. I hope that's not gonna happen. I bloody hell hope not. But what we get here with the river, let's look at it as an energetic energy within yourself. The river has a lot to do with the flow of life, being in the flow. That let the past flow with you. Let it just, you be in the present, you look to the future. There's a lot of forgiveness here. There's a lot of moving forward, being in the bloody flow. So being in the present moment. Let's see what we have underneath the deck with that. That comes with the 1. And that the 1 shows up in the reverse here. The 1 is the understanding of diversity, it's the understanding of differences. It's not pushing to something here, right? And then we have, it shows up with, it's very simple message. We have 5 of Swords, and then we have Page of Pentacles. So for you, I get here a communication coming in. It kind of comes from something that you did in the past, right? It's like having sent something out, and now comes a reply to something, and here comes. It may leave you in this energy where you feel as though no matter what it is that you do, it's not good enough. But you are on the right path here, right? What matters here is about not giving up, detaching from it a little bit. And again here, as it said here, be authentic, listen to your authentic truth, your originality, not stay stuck in a particular narrative. There's something here that seems to have hit a closure, right? But if we were to look at numbers, this is a 10, right? And that here, over here is a 21. That's, if we were, no, that's a 28. Oh, put the martyr. Well, if I add them, it's a 10. 8 plus 2, I can make everything work if I have to, right? Anyway, basically, it's completion, right? It's the completion. It's the boundary being reached. But know that you are strong here, right? And when the storm is over, don't let it form into some sort of anxiety here. With the elephant in the reverse, this is about creating roadblocks for oneself. Rather than being on the path, it's actually trying to break down barriers, but questioning, are they actually for you? Are they for you? Look at these building blocks and the elephant. They actually go rather well together. I keep getting you. Can you see the energy of a storm? I mean, I'm not joking. For some of you, this is a message. I'm not. Is something like a flood and built with bricks and it breaks? I bloody hell hope not. But it's kind of like that. We can take that as a symbol. We put into symbolic language as well. If where you have a glass, or you have something you build up with bricks, so you keep the water out. But at some point, the pressure is too much, and the water being here, the river being that let the river be your emotions, right? Or you going with the flow. But at some point here, the door. Is, the building blocks that are here, they gotta break. They are not solid. The foundation is cracked, and then that's where it breaks, and then that's where it flows, right? And then comes the storm, and the storm can feel very violent when it's here. When the flood is happening, it's very violent. It comes with extreme velocity. Don't know if any of you have seen like a storm flood. Are you mad? It's crazy. It's very scary. The same thing comes in terms of emotion, right? The river being an emotional state. I get images, okay, guys. I get images, and most of the time they are symbolic because I'm that abstract. But yeah, it does crack. Something here does crack, but it comes as a new beginning. Daughter of Pentacle. What we have underneath the deck here is the Son of Pentacle in the reverse and the Scorpion in the reverse. This is jealousy. This is, if whether or not you may be up against an energy here that is very dogmatic. It's very, it wants things to be in boxes, and maybe trying to put you into a box, and maybe you don't fit in that box. Maybe you have your own originality. This is a difficult energy to be in. It depends also who you are, where you are, the circumstances you live in, right? Let me give you an example here of how this energy can play out as difficult. You are a student, right? Let's say it's an example here, right? Being a student, wanting to explore something, right? There's always this, it depends on where you're from, right? But in my country, there's still what I call misconception of student being original, but what the teachers are actually expecting them to is just to quote what they are telling them. So the good grades it really depends on who you get, right? But there's a difference between just quoting the books and repeating what the teacher tells you, and then being original. So people who are original, they don't always fit into these boxed environments, right? Of course, let's also keep in mind, this is just an example here, right? That it depends on what you're studying. But even when you are in a creative field, right, you can still come across egos where, the teacher doesn't want the student to be more. It depends. Really bloody hell depends. Because there are also, fortunately enough, still good teachers around who see potential. But that is an example here, right? But it can also be an example here of, being, the restriction. You can be in an environment where where you feel boxed. You have to do it one particular way, and if for that to be changed, it has to progress very slowly. Or they may have expectations of you to be in a particular way, and you're not that way. You, right? What can you do? This is where I see the flood break, and this is, if you stay too long in that environment, it's just and it wouldn't surprise me if this has a lot to do with your career. Let's just quickly look at here. What do we have? I can tell you probably this storm warning probably has the biggest or the easiest energy to deal with. Well, let's see here. Oh, for more of this. But let's see. What do we have here for you? Storm warning. Show me an energy for you here. Oh my God, are you crazy? Would you look at that? I was just asking, where are you right now? Student. Some of you are students, okay? Some of you are students. Right, there is this devotion, humility and devotion to knowledge, and an openness to lifelong learning. Remember that, an openness to lifelong learning. I mean, the student energy is not about just being in a formal school. Otherwise, it would have shown up. It can be, right? But it has something to do with being a student of life. Can we call it like that? Some of you are, I don't know if you have been victimized in some here, right? But please prevent yourself from letting yourself be victimized or victimized by others. But also don't play a victim for getting positive feedback in the form of pity. Oh, yeah, you know. But here we get something very interesting. Inability to maintain personal boundaries. What I get here is the boundary breaking. It's having had enough. Who are you dealing with here? Who are you dealing with? You may be dealing with someone here who... Oh, this is annoying. Sorry, it's just because I almost got this colleague. Some of you may be dealing with a colleague who delights in the arts without being a professional. They have a superficial knowledge, right? But they pretend to have deeper knowledge than they actually do. Or are they prompting you, or are they like pushing you to be that? I don't know. But you know, what I also get here is for you. Oh, this is an energy to be aware of. It's an energy to be aware of, because I think that a lot of us can go into this. Do we pretend to know more? I don't know. I don't really fall into that arrogance. There is a level of arrogance possible on the table, but also with you. And I do know that there are certain situations where you have to pretend you know more. Right? You have to pretend. Exams. Right? You have to pretend you know it. You have to stand there confident and say, yes, I know this. And if you were to be realistic, it's like, you know shit. Right? But you have to you have to show confidence that you know what the hell you're talking about. Otherwise, people won't believe in you, have confidence in your skills. But there is this somewhat of a little bit of be careful here that no one, be it you or them, have this superficial level of knowledge. Right? They don't really know the in-depth knowledge. For some of you, it may be that you may be dealing with someone here who's not interested in getting to know the deeper you, the true you. They are only interested in these superficial values, and they're very, very protective. They have this box where they want to put people in. It's just if you're dealing with a negative energy, it is a storm, right? Then know that they like to place people into boxes here, and they can be very jealous or pushy and envious, and they sting back here. They don't see the world as a place of differences. They see it as a place of we all think alike, and it's not particularly the best approach if you want to have a cultural understanding of how life works, right? So for you, what is a good, for you, energy for you to take on? Oh, okay. The Sagittarian. For you to take on a Sagittarian. Oh, dear Lord, the Sagittarian. Refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. How lovely. Sorry, I sound a little arrogant there, but it's just the Sagittarian. The Sagittarian here is, being a better person, but without, becoming the arrogant about it. It's just, if you have something to share, then share it. Although they have nothing to give back. And that is where we have the Five of Swords energy, where we have this energy here about feeling as though no matter what you do, it's just not good enough, right? And even this, it may even, it can be for some of you an annoying energy of having to deal with someone who is at a position a bit higher than you, but they don't know what you know, right? But they still want to restrict, but... Try not to compromise here with your authenticity, right? And what else is the of energy here? Eight of Wands, a new beginning. But remember to get some sleep here, and also open up. Some of you may actually feel as though you will find yourself in a position where you fear opening up or sharing your ideas, especially this in career. I really get career here, right? But that might lead to some sort of a conflict. Let what you know flow with you, but without having it burst in a somewhat of an aggressive way. Be very forgiving, be living in the present, but the storm is here. No doubt about it. The storm is here. Stand your ground. I know it sounds like it's contradicting each other, these energies, but it's actually not that difficult. Let me give you the storm, and then we're moving on to the next. What is the storm? It's a number 10. It's almost like a journey, isn't it? Storm, it's a clouds on the horizon, indicates a potential difficulty either in the external world or within yourself and your emotional life. The difficulty is coming closer, and you may have already heard the rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be conscious but not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself, take action on your own behalf, as with all difficulty, even the worst storm will pass. Always remember that you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. Here's an affirmation. I have the power to overcome any obstacle. No matter what is going on, I can be strong, confident, and self-directed. And remember, when this storm passes, as you can see, we started this reading, there was a storm, now it's not stormy. Oh, let's see, it comes and goes today. Know that the dark times are then behind you, or at least it's starting to fall away. You can take heart that the sunny skies and better times are on the horizon. This new light may bring a time of reassessment and a redirection for you. Allow yourself to consider where you want to go next and spend some time reflecting on the difficulty that has passed. What was the lesson here? Was it about self-love, self-empowerment? Remember to bring these intentions then, which the lessons learned, right? To bring them into your new path. So this is whatever goes on here of challenges in August. Learn from them, take them with you, learn and let them flow with the river here. Some of you, if you're into the symbolic, look up the river. River has a very symbolic meaning, even in gospel and all of that. So you can look that up. Okay, that was the storm warning. Now we are moving on to numero 2. That's just 21:45. Number 2, the lava. Numero 2. All right. Forget it. We have, do you want to know what you have here with the lava? Cornucopia. Let me get a sip of this here. There's a lot of yellowish here. I was also looking at my water. I'm drinking elderflower. Anyway, if any of you are interested in the color yellow, it is second chakra. It is creativity. It is interesting. You can look it up. Cornucopia. What is cornucopia about? Cornucopia is about wish fulfillment, but it can also be about frustration, right? That the wishes are not coming to life right now, because as you can see, this is a harvest energy, right? It's almost like this is autumn energy. So it's like, do you want the wishes to come here in August, or can you wait till September or October? But let's see what shows up here. We will see. But the it is a wish fulfillment. It is material abundance. It is things coming into fruition. It doesn't have to be material abundance. It's just things coming into fruition. As you can see, I don't know if you didn't see the other one. I have 2 piles. One pile is for what I pulled, and one is for what was under the deck, because I always use under the deck. It's difficult in these readings when I do pick a card, but I make 2 piles because I always do that. That's my style. What we have here is by the book, comes in the reverse. Under the deck, there we have exchanging gifts. By the book and exchanging gifts. I kind of want to read these to you, right? But you know, I'm just gonna, because these are very interesting. By the book, coming in the reverse, that is something about, you know, giving too much of yourself. And probably not having it come here. Then we have the prayer. The reverse. This really speaks together. This is wanting results very, very quickly, but it's not coming. So that's why I got this personal frustration coming with this card. Remember, this is something that will play out throughout August, and we're diving into it to get more into it, right? It is possibly related to patience. Underneath the deck there, we have, love. So it could actually be, yeah, you know what, in love as well. You know, you place it as it is. Because this is an energy that splits between 2. On one direction, we have it being career. I'm not joking. It's for some, this is career and a material abundance not coming in. And for others, it's actually in relation to a connection, like a lover, a romantic situation, possibly even 2, but both of them. But although this is tied to these two energies, there's a different, there are different mechanisms at play in each direction. I just want to say that. So with the lover here, I sense it being, well, it's something to do with that, something that you're in awe of, right? Right now I'm feeling pulled more towards the love direction. But let's see what plays out. We also have here the unseen, which by the way came here. The unseen being intuition, also something here being seen. There's a lot of karma in this here, this cornucopia. What do I mean by the karma? It could be a legal situation, it could be a contract included in it. But there's also an energy here about what you give is what you get. But let's pull out the energies here. We have Ace of Swords in the reverse, and then we have the Bear. And then we have Four of Cups, and we have Shock, and we have a Horse in the reverse. I want to read to you the book. Buy the book. It's a number 11. 11. There are 2 11s here. What is the number 11? That has something to do with justice in tarot. Justice. The Justice card. Again, being this seeing things at both sides or in the in-between and all of that. I'm just going to read you the book here in the reverse. When it's in the reverse, it shows up as a protection message. 11 is a protection message. Now is the time for real change in consciousness as you are incited to revolt. Challenge the structures that are limiting authentic progress. It is not enough to rebel in small ways. This is a call to revolution. Focus on what you really want to achieve, regardless of whether it feels so far outside the box that the established order may reject it. Genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group, take a stand and make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is alerting you to the need for complete overhaul. This is a time for transformation, so let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. There's no turning back now. Trust the light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. Well, the epiphany is delayed. It shows up here as the tarot, right? But let's see, what is it in love? When we have the book by in love relationship, then it's... But yeah, you know what? In general, by the book is a time to expect return on investment, but it's really showing up as a, delayed here, right? At this time, you can expect a return on investment, whatever you pursued, be it a dream, a skill you cultivated, something you feel called to do. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful, but that's what is blocked, right? It's like the place of going by the book, it's not working. Getting along with other people entails an understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find a middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of other people, right? And yourself. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want them to do. Want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. But here's the thing. With this in reverse, I'm also getting that... Yeah, because I do see a situation here where you are in awe of something, but it's not coming here. If your tendency have been to try and change the environment to make it go with you, right? It's not gonna work that way. That leads to this frustration, but that has something to do with having invested probably something into having invested into a situation that's just not. It's not working with you, all right? Have you lowered yourself to please the situation? I get like a twisting energy here, but sometimes you just say yes to please it. To please, just have it, if you just say yes, then it's gonna come. If you just say yes, but what about sometimes saying no? Whatever trajectory you've been going on, whatever norm you have been following, going by the book, the way you have always done it, is just not working. And then we have this unseen and the prayer. That is also, prayer has something to do, about doing, praying for someone to return it and they're not coming, but you get frustrated. But everything that you do is seen. Everything that you do is seen. It is being watched. And for some of you, it could be this, post, if it's just trying to get someone to reconcile, posting something on social media, hoping it will be seen and hoping it's gonna work. Just for some, right? But in all cases, what we have the Bear and we have Ace of Swords. This is an energy here about the epiphany that you're waiting for is not coming. It's time to get out of the workings. It's time to wake up. With the Bear, the Bear wakes up following the slumber and is ready to take on the practical approach to get things to manifest. right? The communication you're expecting, it may not be coming in, and it can lead to this frustration. It can actually, if I can summarize this energy also as the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, saying there's a frustration that something is not going. But that may have something to do with the way that you're traditionally doing it is not working. Be it trying to get someone to come towards you, or be it trying to get a material prosperity to come here. Whatever that, the traditional way of doing it, it's not working here. Exchanging gifts. Let's see that in the reverse. That's 27. 28, 27, also in the reverse. The law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-off, weighing cost and determining value. Be careful what you pray for, because you might just get it. And then realize you don't want to face the hefty price that comes with it. That's karma. You may find yourself in a situation you've always desired, but now you will have to walk away from it, or even fail at it, because you can't or won't pay the dues that it asks of you. If you want to be a famous musician, you will have to practice your craft every day. If you want to be a millionaire, you will have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Yeah, there's a lot of people, I want to be a business owner. Yeah, do you know the work that comes with being a business owner? It is really, there's a lot of tough work that goes into running a business. And the same thing goes into being a CEO. Do you know the responsibilities that comes with being a CEO? If you are because there's a difference between like being a business developer and then being a corporate, being a business developer and being a business administrator, right? People with that, the developing, engineering, the fun, not always suited for the role of a corporate, CEO, because I gotta say it's actually sometimes boring. There's a lot of really administrative, heavy, a lot of responsibilities you have to take care of, right? Anyway, even a windfall bears a cost. It's okay, because beauty is here to help you achieve balance over time. Another message is that that being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in life, where you find yourself in victim mode, or in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. Others may push you to continue to prove yourself. The time has now come to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Other people may push you to try and make you prove yourself. That's actually true. There comes a point where people shouldn't be. There comes a point where it's not fun being pushed anymore. Right? It's like, can you take this? Can you prove to me that you're willing to go this far for this business? Or can you prove to me that how far you're willing to go for this connection? There comes a point where it's just, if it brings more stress than anything good, then it's time to say no. Right? But anyway, there comes a time to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Be aware of the need to both give and take is the first step to your true destiny. Right? It's not all good. It's all good, and it's getting better. Everything is good. It's going to get better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result of it. So that is the giving, right? It's not an equal give and take. Someone here is always having you try and prove your value. But you're trying to prove the value by going by the book, and in the end, that's another here. In the end, you end up actually feeling as though you've been pleasing them, right? So another message with the cornucopia is, although you may feel very much in awe of someone here, if they are not really ready to show up and give you equal give and take, they're always trying to push you to make you, by the way, also for some of you, go beyond where you want to go, to try and make you break the book. To not go by your book, but go by their book, Because yes, there's something about the way you used to do things that's not going to work here anymore. And I get that may be trying to please someone by breaking your book, Compromise gotta be here, and that especially if this is in a teamwork. What we also have here is this saying no to being social. And I saw, there is someone here that's almost like, I bloody hell hope you're not dealing with someone who's just waiting for you to fail. Or waiting for you to, this shark here lurks around the water here, right? Can be a little bit arrogant and waits to attack. But the shark can also be an energy that's being called here for you. Right, along with the bear here is telling you to keep being in movement and being aware of what is going on in your circumstances here, or in your surroundings. Be aware of it, and don't lose track. Don't become, you become scared here of moving. I don't know if this is someone here that's actually doing that. It's like they're watching to see when you become scared of moving. That's a bit of an interesting energy. Can you tell me more about this? The Empress. Oh my dear fucking God. You know what the message here is? Something here is going to be abundant to you. Something here is going to be absolutely abundant when you start going inside yourself here and you look about where it is that you want to create. Someone here knows this. And they're trying to push you. They may believe that they're pushing you into, because they are in awe of you, right? They want to push you because they are in awe of you. But they don't push you very well by rejecting you. I get here that for some of you, actually, this what you should be mindful of here is to stop saying no, especially if this is in your career. If this is in your career and you're being distracted by bad dating patterns, right? If you're out there dating, you're single, you're seeing someone, and they're dating the typical dating patterns of in and out, and it's actually affecting your career. This is probably the right saying stop. But I get here's an energy that's circulating around you that actually sees your worth here. And the abundance is coming. Spirit, oh, by the way, spirit, if you want to say spirit, yeah. The abundance is coming your way. Probably around autumn time. But if you're expecting quick results right now, don't. You probably should be breaking the book a little bit in terms of yourself, but that change comes from within. It's not from whatever everyone else here is pushing you to do. I hope you got anything from this, even though it was a little chaotic, this message here, right? But the communication is not going to come in. Yeah. But here's the thing, guys. Use your network. I don't know what that means. Use your network and the people, you have people here around you that really, really care. You're surrounded by a lot of abundance. You won't see it because you feel as though it's being rejected, and it is being rejected for some reason or another. But it is here. Why is it being rejected there? Oh, because it's because there's something new here. There's a new opportunity that wants to come into your energies. And that's the energy that's lurking around here. But it's like you have to stop saying, it's like, oh my God, it's like someone here needs, it's almost like, yeah, can I say, and I don't know if this is universe or whatever, but it's like someone here, it's gotta go through something a bit tough to toughen up. So they're not so big of a people pleaser when this energy comes in. Alright, let's quickly look into this. Let's see, where do we have you right now? The energies that you're in right now. We have a thief and a messiah, and the energies you're with here. Right there we have. And the priest, it's... sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And serves yeah. Oh my God. For some of you, it shows up as you right now. I'm so sorry, the energies are shifting a little bit. But there's an energy here within you here that has something to do with finding your authenticity here. And to... understand your own worth here, right? Someone here in this equation has got to stop playing games if they're trying to get someone into their midst. It shows up as you, but it could be the energy you're dealing here with, right? Someone here, let me just say, in this cornucopia energy, there is someone here who has their eye and their heart set on someone, but they are trying to get to them in a difficult way. And that is also why here, it shows up as you, gotta say, where the message is that stop doing it like that. No playing games and trying to make this abundance come in, because it creates more frustration. The love is here. Whatever it is that you're seeking, that you want, it is here. Stop playing games. I gotta be honest, with this cornucopia, I can't place who's playing games. But with you here, right, the lesson to be learned here, to that of saying no and that of becoming more tougher, is also a lesson that has to do with understanding that you are not the means of all. Every solution doesn't go through you, meaning that people who take on too much, they absorb too much. They gotta learn to say no, and sometimes they absorb too much because they want to. There are many reasons for it, right? They can want to feel important and all that, but sometimes it's also, it leads to this sense of self where you become more important than you really are. I know it sounds hard, but it's like they can't do it without me. Maybe they can if you gave them a chance, right? It's not to say you're not welcome over there anymore, because I definitely see you have. If you're afraid of being kicked out of the group or anything, you take on too much because you're afraid of not belonging. You will always belong. It's just a matter here of understanding that everyone else also gotta take their. Everyone else also gotta put in their way, right? That is especially true if you take on too much work and then they do nothing. You can work better together. Anyway, where do you have this energy in your surroundings? We have a damsel understanding the nature of healthy relationship, but waiting for a knight to provide. See, that is the energy. Stop providing for that energy. Stop providing for people here to foster that energy where you come as a provider and they don't provide for themselves. This is especially true if I'm talking to a man dealing with a woman, right? Because damsel here and thief, there we have this. It's almost like the foundations of a codependency. I hope bloody hell not. It's gonna turn out that way, right? But what you're dealing with here is someone here who has, in the energies that are good here, it is someone very self-reliant and understand the bad mechanisms of how to work together to be healthy romance and all that. And also someone who has a lot of creativity, that can have something grow. A lot of creative energy here underneath the deck. This energy here that's on the table, it's got to stop playing tricks to get to this. And also stop trying to take on too much of this. It's creating a lot of frustration, as you can see, and I actually have no idea what's going on now. I'm saying this is that reading. This is that reading. That was interesting. So now we are going on to the third energy. Let's do some shuffles here. The third energy. Second energy was all over the place. Dear Lord. Number 3. Pile number 3 with this one. Do you want to know what's in that? Let's see if you are easier to deal with than the other ones. It is second chakra. Second chakra. What's the second chakra? Creativity and intimacy. Okay. Right. Which, as you can see here, there are 2 piles. I should probably, there are 2 piles. Feels dumb repeating myself. There are 2 piles where we have, one of them is the cards that I pulled, and the other one is under the deck. I always read under the deck if you're new here. So that is why I have 2 piles. All right, with the second chakra, we have clean it up in the reverse. What comes under the deck for that? That is Treasure Island and Yin in the reverse. This is a feminine energy, by the way, and so is Yin. But the Yin is in reverse, right? This is a feminine energy, second chakra. What is that about? That is about as I said, the intimacy, creativity, the valuation, the value. What do I mean by value? How you value yourself, how you value others, how you express yourself creatively, right? So it's if you have a wounded second chakra, it can. It as an energy, right? It speaks to. It can be a little bit chaotic because it is feminine, right? But it has something to do with issues related to how we relate with other people, or how we express ourselves, how we feel safe in expressing our creativity, our writings, our drawings, our everything creative where it's not verbal. So it's the language of giving gifts and all of that, right? Anyway, that's the second chakra. With the cleaning up, we're gonna see what that is about. I'm gonna read that in a minute here. No, I'm gonna read it to begin with here. Show me the cleanup. It's number 21. 21. And it's in the reverse, so it's a protection message. Is it possible you might be focusing too much on other people right now, trying too hard to be helpful? Does taking on what belongs to others make you feel needed or desired? Perhaps you think it's your calling to relieve other people of their burdens, but what is the cost to you and to them? Don't clean up someone else's side of the street. You are not helping by freeing him or her of responsibility. You're also not doing yourself any favors, and you just might be adding to an even greater strain. You are loved as you are. You don't need to be needed to be loved. Let's clean up. It's the typical mom energy here of cleaning up the room of your children, and in some way or another you think you're doing them a service, but you're doing a disservice because they don't learn to clean up after themselves, and then they become the pigs in the public. Sorry, right? It's cleaning house, sweeping away what no longer is needed. So here it also speaks about, cleaning up emotional baggage, emotional garbage here, or cleaning up bills for other people, cleaning up the air for the people. All in all, we can say it has something to do here with desire to feel needed, and you do so many services for other people probably. Show me 9. Show me the 9 that's under the deck. Number 9, Treasure Island, bringing dreams into fruition. You have worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly you hit the jackpot. That's underneath the deck here, right? Hitting the jackpot. You must now, you have uncovered the map to bury treasure and tapped into the unlimited potential within yourself. What you must now hone is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot. Because these are the golden opportunities that may not be obvious. Some may be obvious, some may not. Trust your intuition and all of that. And don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others and all of that. Your relationships is a treasure, providing more than what you need. It's about always discovering new gems within each other. At this time, you can be confident success is yours. You are a true manifestation period when you see evidence of the seeds planted. That means that you want a good energy here. Show me the yin. You are on a good energy to nourish something. But here we have yin in the reverse. What is that? That's, do you have trouble receiving? Stop the flow. You stop the flow of abundance when you continually insist upon being the giver. You don't always lead. You can't always lead, always give, always teach. You must be the student, an open vessel, and the one who receives the gift, the gesture, or offer in equal measure. Open up and let love, life, abundance, and spirit fill you without demand or expectation. Just receive the bounty that's yours. Meaning that there's basically under the deck here an opportunity to go somewhere. But you gotta receive it. You can't receive it if you're always the one giving. So that's it. These energies tie together like none other, right? Let's see what we have here. Then we have the mystic in the reverse, and we have the flame, and we have strength along with underdog. Yeah, 3. So that's 8 of wands, and it comes with, there were unfortunately 3 of these. Oh, I see. That's why I did it. I knew it was here. So there's an animal here. I unfortunately have to see if it's in the reverse. It's not in the reverse. Okay. I have a nemesis. It's this one. Whenever I see it, it may not look scary it may not look scary when you look at it through the screen, but when it shows up right in front of you and you're in the energies, and then bam, it just looks at you, it is so scary. But that is also how it works. I think it's the colors as well, right? It's the way it stands and it's the colors, but that's also the meaning of it. All of these energies actually speak a little bit to the same. I'm gonna something about cleaning up. A lot about cleaning up. Clean up the house. All right, let me get back into the reading here. What we have on this side, we have the shadow, 9 of cups, 4 of wands, and the firefly. This is cleaning up the bloody house. I mean, if I have to summarize it, it's about not cleaning up after your children all over again. It's just an example here. Not always doing the cleanup for your children because you teach them non-independence, right? Or they become codependent. That's how you raise a mama's boy or mama's girl or whatever. Learned self-helplessness. I can't even pronounce it right. But the solution is not to be cold either, right? Anyway, that's just for some to clean it up. Again, let's see. The overall messages here are about being too much of a service. Too much. Right? Be careful here, because that is where the Empress might along the way show up in the reverse. This is a typical Empress energy, the mother energy wanting to nurture and all of that. Trust me, if it becomes too much along the way, some point down the line here, she will show up in the reverse, and she will say, now is the time. Things have been, it's too much now. Probably like the storm warning here in the first one, right? That is where, you know, you hit the point where it's just you can't continue to do it like this. You're tired. You forget yourself, right? It's like suddenly you stop. You disappear. There are many significant challenges that can come when you stop, when you lose your identity into someone else, or even a project or something. You lose your identity, because then when you lose that, then you have to figure out where your identity is. Where do you begin and where do you stop? And that is where people can become clingy, and they can hold on because their identity is rooted in someone else or a project, and they can't let it go. That's codependency, guys. That's not dependency, that's codependency. Dependency is when we depend on something. The codependency or merging, I believe. Again, I'm not a professional. It's just here, but what is here? But yeah, with this mystic showing up a little bit in the reverse, the mystic is not wanting to see. The mystic is having the capacity of, let's say the light worker, right? The mystic upright is the light worker. It's the scientist. It's the one who explores. It's the one who discovers, uncovers. Mystic, right? You look, you observe, you disclose. When it's in the reverse, you're not doing it. Worst case is one is lying. It's not, the mystic in the reverse is not so much about lying, but it's about not seeing and not doing it. Not seeing things for what they are, not seeing facts for what they are. Wanting to see it as the way you want to see it. And with the flame here, something here is screaming at you. And energy is like an awareness. It is here. It is the flame, is the passion, it's the drive. It's the drive to go somewhere, right? Remember, this can also, by the way, be a very, very simple message of sex, saying, having to do with all right, let's give an example. Do you know what can kill the sex drive, especially in women? It's that of always have to do the chores. It kills passion. It kills passion. Always having you forget you lose your own sense of attractiveness because you merge with other people, especially the mom merge. Yeah. Anyway, but you also you have a lot of things to take care of, and at some point in time, it's just you're tired. You're drained. Right? Empress in the reverse. She doesn't want to go to the bedroom because she's tired. Because she's already used her energies to clean up, to do the laundry, to cook, to go grocery shopping, to all of that, do all of that, to please other people. Right? The service animal. There was just an energy here. There's something about clean up the energies and make space for this here, right? But the passion here is then rising again. It's just about finding it. It is coming. Because this is also a sexual energy, right? But there's someone here that's holding back from that energy here. They don't want to deal. Now we're getting into the sex energy here, right? Someone here is holding back from their sexuality. They don't want to act upon their sexuality. And sexual drive, not sexuality, but sexual drive, right? Sexuality, nothing about that, but sexual drive. And that can actually in real life, right? in relationships, real relationships, this is actually a bit of a problem when we don't want to get intimate like that, when the intimacy is blocked. Because I do see someone here, but this is the thing, I see someone here having it, but they're holding back. Someone here, this would be you then, right? If you pick the pile here, if you resonate with the sexual energy, then it has something here to do with wanting to actually control it a little bit, wanting to control the situation, so it doesn't get out of hand here. But don't ignore it. It's just gonna float over again like the storm here. Anyway, where were we? The other message here about being too much for other people. It's something, then it actually ties together here. Which would be why someone here may want to hold back, because, especially if they're feminine energy here, the the concern about merging with someone else through sex, because that happens. Especially, I believe, you can look it up, the chemicals or hormones, whatever it is that's produced, especially in women, that can make that happen. It's the love, falling in love, right? That's the reason why I'm always recommending don't sleep immediately, especially not until you know they're not an idiot, right? When they have proven to you that they're not an idiot, then they're not going to be in and out and use you. Don't get those chemicals working. Don't start the hormones they're going, because it will create this attachment, especially for women. Because it's something about, the I can't remember what the hell the hormone, but there's something about released with children, I believe. It creates this connection here, belonging. And it can be mistaken for love. Or it can be mistaken as, because it ties up to love, but it can be mistaken as, oh my God, this is my soulmate. No, your body is working here. Anyway, in that case, for those of you who are in that, it shows up as though you can control it. You have control of yourself to also give in, to be intimate without it taking over, right? There we have the snake, because this one is, by the way, is a very, very sexual energy. This is the Kundalini. You can Google that. And the vulture here is about cleaning up, again, the spine. This is about the spine wakening up. It's about, again, get this. You have so much strength within yourself, so you can follow through with it. You can be yourself. You don't have to be merged with everyone else here, right? But because some of you are really protective of that, your feminine energy here. But also, with the feminine energy, I also get a message here of taking care of yourself and clean your environment. And then we have underneath the deck, it was almost like we didn't need Treasure Island, the yin, that was all there. And the shadow, your shadow. And the shadow is this feminine energy here about merging. But as it showed up here, we can see it's actually under control. You have managed to feel at home in it. And you, again here, also again with this feminine energy, I get here your environment, your home. It's going to be important. You find yourself more and more at ease. You will find yourself here throughout the month more and more at ease with your surroundings, with your home, enough to open up for this energy to let it flow. So if you have that your creativity have been blocked, it's actually going to flow far more, because your surroundings here are going to appear more clean, more creative. You're going to have far more creative stimulation. So this is actually probably the best pile. I thought it was going to be the worst pile, but it's actually the best pile. Let's quickly look in here to this. And that's also the firefly. There's going to be small glimpses of passion showing up here. And for some of you, it's actually being driven towards a home. Small glimpses of feeling driven. It's like you, the more you come into yourself, the more you connect with yourself and your own creativity, the more you will feel pulled here throughout the month to go somewhere. And it shows up as a new environment, new place, new home almost. And don't be afraid to get to know people. That's the thing. Some of you you find it difficult to receive compliments because of something here that may have gone on in the past, right? But this energy is amazing, actually. All right, let's see what we have. Where are you right now? We have you with the Judge, offering only destructive criticism, misuse, shouldn't be like that. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. This is where you are right now. I feel as though this is a journey you're going to go on. This is being critical. Right? And it feels as though it's having something to do with not wanting to lose out of your power. There is... Okay, be careful. Some of you may be very, very harsh with your words. Not wanting to give compliments. If you give compliments, you can give underhanded compliments. typical Queen of the Swords in the reverse, or typical Queen and typical energy of the insulted. All right, just look at, or tired as well. The tired energy. This is the feminine when she's tired. Man, woman, doesn't matter. But it's someone here who's bloody tired. And don't give in to feeling sorry for yourself. That is your bloody challenge. But as it shows up, the energies here are like they're waking up for you to pull you out of this. And for some of you, it's actually something that has happened here. What is then what is triggering here? What is then would be triggering that? Oh, liars. Oh. Someone here is keeping an eye on you. The detective, and then we have the judge there, right? Alright, so you will be triggered. You would be triggered by liars. I got this for some of you. This is someone where you, because in terms of this sexual, right? If it is sexual energy, then it tends to be that there's another person included. And that other person may have been someone who you, let's just say you probably have a history. They could have been unreliant. Doesn't mean that they had to be a cheat or anything. It could be that what they promised, they didn't deliver. At some point in time, you can be married with them, and you can still feel a little betrayed, right? Meaning that we can, even in long-term commitments where you haven't divorced or separated, but you can still, the trust can still erode in those situations when the people we love or we gave our trust to don't show up as they promised to, right? That can still erode trust. If they, for instance, say they're going to be home at 4 o'clock or something like that, and they continue, then they show up at 6 o'clock, and then they say tomorrow I'm going to be at 4, and then they show up at 8 o'clock, and they do this over a prolonged period of time. That's what people actually, a lot of people don't really notice this, but trust, even though you are committed, trust can you can lose love when someone continuously to show up as unreliable in that relationship over a prolonged period of time. It just, you may not have cheated and all that, you may not have done something of massive betrayal, but all of those small steps, all those small inconsistencies make someone fall out of love. And they don't even want to try. And that's where some people, you can come home, I don't understand why this person wants to divorce me. And you can't understand why you can't make it work again. That's the thing, because when you reach the stage where love is died, it's dead. It tends to be following a prolonged period of these situations, right? That's where in terms of divorces, right? Divorces where there were no cheating, where there were no nothing, where people just fell out of love. Why? They forgot each other and they forgot to live up. Anyway, what may be triggering you here is this. Someone who's actually quite like you, wants to, some of you, something legal here, right? Anyway, they are like you, but they're looking at you, but they're looking through a mask, all right? You're being triggered by people who wear masks. Anyway, so that's it. But yeah, you're dealing with someone here who wears a mask sometimes, but it's not. You might be triggered by people who tell you that the reason why they do what they do is because they have no control of it. It's all the world. The world is demanding it of them. I don't know. I want to get involved with that. What energy is here for you would be advice. The poet. Express your soul insights in symbolic language. What? Alright, so express your soul insights in symbolic language. If you're struggling here with expressing what's going on within yourself, right? Remember the creative energy of the second chakra. Express yourself creatively. Use imagery. And also, if you want to connect with your second chakra, stop becoming creative. And here was something about, poetics. That's right, poetry. You don't have to, if you're not with the written word, it can be creative with your hands. Connect to your second chakra. Come into contact with that second energy, that intimacy, that creativity. So you connect better with yourself and express yourself. What you need to in order to feel valued, right? As opposed, which would stand in contrast as to only look at things as very, very critical. where you get up to in your head too much, you rationalize too much. Right? Libra energy here, Libra, Scorpio, Saggy as always. Okay, so that is what I have for each. Ooh, I am still curious about this one here. I want to hold on, this cornucopia. What was it that we got with the cornucopia? Because I feel as though something here. Cornucopia. Expect a delayed communication. So it's because the cornucopia is still on, sticking with me here. This cornucopia is so fucking interesting. Because it's I can see two people. Like, it's not just abstract, I can see it's there. It's something I would not have imagined I would ever show up with cornucopia. It's a dance. It's a dance between two people both wanting the same thing. The fact that they are annoying each other. They annoy each other, that makes them grow on their own accord. They challenge each other. But one here, which is the thief, which showed up as you, but it could of course be another. They challenge in ways that are they look up too much. Shows up as you, okay? The thief shows up with too much self-reliance. They are so used to look out for their own survival. You, so used to looking out for your own survival. It's someone here, you wouldn't surprise me, I gotta say it's you, right? If you're used to getting what you want by playing games, by being very smart, by being streetwise, you are definitely a survivor. But then by using small tactics here to get quick results, it's not gonna work that way. There's such an abundant energy on the other side. It's like someone here is like kicking, shows up as you, this thief. Alright, it's just gonna say the thief. The thief has got to. The thief is being kicked to wake up. Saying, stop hiding. Stop hiding those emotions. Stop hiding. If you want things to grow, stop being so frustrated that it's not growing, because the reason why it's not growing is by you continuing to go by the fucking playbook. This is the player going by the playbook and trying to play a damsel, believing that they are a damsel, believing that they are waiting for a knight to provide for them, and they can be seduced by romantic illusions. But this is not a damsel. This is someone who, yes, it is a damsel, but it's someone who may have those traits as their shadow, but they understand, when they are in the power of their own power, they understand the nature of healthy romance, and that makes them very self-reliant. So they are then not subjected to it. I want to say it's the pre-empress, because that person also showed up with the empress energy, right? And if someone here wants to try, it's like they have a connection. Someone wants to try and have this person have to give it a shot, but they gotta wake up here. They gotta wake up from this, because there's such a pull, there's such a respect, there's such a awe. Again, it's like being in awe of each other as well. But this person is saying no. They're saying no to these offers. And that blocks it here. That brings this frustration. So nothing is being given here. Because going by the playbook is just not gonna cut it. But there's so much happiness, there's so much support. This is, the thief here has a lot of great people around them. A lot of friends, a lot of family. What they need is the Two of Cups. The thief here, right? Three of Cups, Ten of Cups, they're there. The friends, the family, Two of Cups. it's not here. And that would probably be here. And this is being seen. There's some karma at play here in this. Alright, now I feel more comfortable with having... Alright, I got into it. I would not have ever seen that with cornucopia. Because cornucopia is a material energy. This is in stealing from someone's abundance. Without saying. That is not gonna work. Show me more about this. Show me another one for cornucopia. 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords, the Lovers, and the Tower. And the World. I hate when this connection shows up. It's a particular form of connection that I don't want to deal with because I don't do that narrative, and it is not a narrative like that. It is just a very it's just two people who are it's Bridget Jones and Mr. Darcy, okay? It's Bridget Jones and Mr. Darcy. Can we call it that? It's that kind of connection. Let's not give it any kind of crazy name. It's crazy, stupid love, okay? But where it is actually authentic. Because most of the times these connections are not. Trust me, I can tell the difference. This is actually authentic. But then all I can sit here and say is, why? Well, because someone is a survivor and they both need to grow up. Okay, so teenage relationship. That is what I have. I hope you got anything from it. I will see you next time. Ciao.